What's cracking, guys? It's your boy Bruce here, and I got more clips from training camp. This one, we're going to cover Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver from the Dallas Cowboys. I haven't had the chance to get to him, but I've been wanting to, and I just grabbed a bunch of clips and marinated them together for you guys to view. He has been having a very good camp. A very good camp. I want to preface this. Gallup's hurt. James Washington's hurt. Jalen Tolbert's looking good. He's making plays. There's going to be a large opportunity for him to gain a big footing in the offense to get these targets. And he's proving himself right now. And I feel like this could be a chance for him to blossom early in his rookie season. Could be right out of the gate. Could be a couple weeks in. But if he's on the field, running routes, seeing targets, could be an opportunity here. In fantasy, especially in redraft right now, he is very cheap. In Dynasty, the price is going up slowly. He was one of the guys I was telling you to draft in that latter part of the second round, early third round, wherever he was going in your draft. Get him. I got him in some leagues, and I'm already seeing where I could cash in for a return on investment, but I'm not. I kind of want to see this one through since I saw him so cheap, and I feel like the buying or selling out isn't going to be worth the speculation that is involved with him. But let's take a look at his highlights. I got like 5-6 of them, minute worth of clips, and he's looking good. Let me know in the comments what you think about Jalen Tolbert. Let me know if you're in on him. I like him a lot. I like him immensely from college. I thought from being a small school wide receiver prospect from South Alabama, good tape, good production scores, third round draft capital just high enough. And just seeing him get downfield, make plays happen, excels at getting downfield. And with James Washington out, you know they're going to use him on deeper targets, which means air yards, which means deeper opportunities, which means more splash plays, maybe some splash weeks here and there. This team's got a tougher schedule, so they're going to have to throw it a little bit more. They're going to want to do that. They're going to be pushed to do it, even though they want to run. They're going to be pushed to do it in some occasions. CeeDee Lamb might be locked up on some plays, and they may have to go down to Tolbert. And that could be a good thing, especially you got him cheap in fantasy. And when I say get him in fantasy, I'm not saying getting him and expecting to get a wide receiver one. I'm saying get him in fantasy and get him as a speculative asset that could blossom on your bench, that you may need to use when attrition happens, bye weeks, and he could pop off on when he has plus matchups, or when CeeDee Lamb may get locked down in a game and Tolbert comes up and becomes the guy in the offense. So this could materialize to something big. Another thing you want to look out for, if you don't get him in the draft, he might be on the waiver wire middle of the season, early season. Things start to look good, especially with snap share, target share, route share. Look at him and those perspectives on the workload, and if things starting to increase, starting to ramp up, snag him off waivers. Stay attuned to him. Really depends on league size, your format, but this is a young wide receiver that can pull it off on you. He's got good hands, good ball skills, gets downfield. You know he's got the potential to get a good portion of the air yards, and he's making plays happen. Diggs is getting eat up on a lot of these clips. Look at the hand fighting downfield a little bit. Sees the ball in. I like him a lot. I was getting him in redraft. I was getting him in dynasty leagues all offseason, especially when I had that late part of the second round, early part of the third round. I had a video a few months back saying that he was a buy in fantasy, and things are starting to materialize. Even in minicamp, even in OTAs, he was making plays. He was making catches. There are some clips, some pictures of that, but now we're getting the vids. We're getting some vids. We're getting him making some good grabs, sticky hands, strong hands. Third round pick, those types of wide receivers who are solid third round picks, you don't always expect them to be gangbusters. Sometimes you do get one here and there, but honestly, he's going to be a good role player for the Cowboys. Could be a little bit more on the long term. Could be a good wide receiver too. In fantasy, probably be in that wide receiver 2 bubble where there's a bunch of wide receiver 2s and they jockey for position each week. With that being said, he's a good guy if he starts materializing in this offense to play the matchups with. Plus matchups where you think you can get larger target shares, matchups where you think the air yards are going to come. That's when you want to look at him the most. Play some DFS with him. Probably be a good DFS play off and on throughout the season. If you know how to work the Vegas lines, if you know how to work air yards, target share, know how to jump on that stuff, wide receivers like this are good to keep an eye on throughout the season because they can pop off on and off, play the matchups when you need the extra wide receiver to help you out, especially during attrition. This is the type of guy. Cowboys fans, this was a damn good pick in the 3rd round. You got a productive wide receiver, good breakout age, good production, good tape, small school prospect who fell a little bit in the draft. You have to remember there were some major sites mocking Jalen Tolbert in the 1st round because they did not know. They know evaluators are calling him talented. They know the tape was trending up throughout draft season. They didn't know. No one knew. No one knew how the NFL was going to value him. He fell a little bit, but the draft was riddled with good wide receivers. If there was less wide receivers, he might have got bumped up a little bit. He might have been noticed a little bit more. But this is a good wide receiver class, and the fact that you got a talent like this in the 3rd round still is a good indication that you got some good value here. I think he can step up, be a good wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3 on the team, relieve you guys if something happens to Lamb, be a good asset, good role player with some upside at the least. I think he can develop. I think he's a good player. I think he's really going to grow and gel with this team. And for the price tag, you couldn't do much better at the wide receiver position unless you got the opportunity to pay up for George Pickens or get some of those top guys in the 1st round. I think Jalen Tolbert, fantasy purposes, I think you need to have your nose to the ground on him. I think I would pay up a little bit for him, make sure I snagged him in some leagues, and just see what happens. I'm talking speculative asset, not hoping to get a wide receiver 1. I'm talking speculative asset and hoping that he materializes throughout the season and play the matchups, hit on those spike weeks. And you're going to say, well, I don't know when to start him. This is when you're going to have to figure out the Vegas lines, figure out target share, figure out when to take those gambles on these wide receivers. And when you hit on wide receivers like that, especially when attrition hits on your team and you got a middle-of-the-road team, hitting on some of those can really turn your season around. Jalen Tolbert could be a guy that does that for you mid-season this year, early season, late season. He's going to do something this year. He's getting work. He's being active. Look at these plays, making plays in the back of the end zone, showing some strong hands, long hands, and really he's got a good grasp right now and really getting a lot of work in. There's almost not a day where there's not a clip shown of Jalen Tolbert making a play. Jalen Tolbert has been boasted up on social media all training camp, day in, day out. There's a highlight of him almost every day. Like George Pickens we talk about a lot, Jalen Tolbert's been making just about as many plays. Jalen Tolbert's been talked up just about as much in camp, and it's been silenced because he's been a later round pick, because he's a small school guy. Partially, they're not getting the buzz. Steelers does a good job at showing off their players. The Cowboys do a good job too, but they also do it almost too much to where it gets watered down a little bit. And a guy like Jalen Tolbert's really selling out, looking good. And I'm not saying he's going to be a top-end wide receiver in the league right now. I'm telling you, get him as a speculative asset, because there's going to be times during the season where you're going to be like, man, I probably could have put him in my lineup this week. I probably could have did this. I probably could have did that. Oh, no, he had a 4-game run or something. Jalen Tolbert's going to have that opportunity. You're seeing him get deep targets here. That's going to materialize the deep targets in the game. Who is going to start over him? Who's going to start over him? Gallup's hurt right now. Gallup's trying to come back. James Washington's hurt. He's going to have the opportunity early in the season. And look at him. He's cashing in. You're getting good reports. Jalen Tolbert's the truth. I feel like I've been ranting on him enough. I think you already got my story. But let me know what you think about Jalen Tolbert in the comments, because it's very cheap getting fantasy. Don't pay up. Pay just a smidge above market value. Look at ADP. It's damn near free. pay a smidge up there. Make sure you get them in a few leagues. Don't go 100% exposure because you never want to do that. But get them in a few leagues. Cowboys fans, you're lucky to get a player like this in the 3rd round. I'm not saying you're getting a Keenan Allen or something like that. I'm saying you're getting a very good role player with some good upside here that is going to gel with this team for a long time. That's how I feel. I feel like he's a very good get at the wide receiver position, especially at cost. Again, drop your opinions in the comments. Let me know what you think. Smash that like button. Helps the video out on the algorithm. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because I'm dropping videos left and right on this channel from training camp. And I'll try to get you as many rookies, some guys coming back from injury, or whatever I find, and post that as much as possible to help you guys out so you can see these players, plus give you the fantasy analysis on top of some stuff that I'm seeing. I can't always do film breakdowns on these because how these plays are materializing, plus the drills and all that stuff. There's so much objective activity in these clips that it's really hard to do. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. Just really depends on how I feel about the clip, but I'll try my best. Film studies will be coming out throughout the NFL season this year and college season like last year, and along with some fantasy content. But I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next vid.